Hello guys and welcome to another video. Today we have this radical equation right here. Pretty interesting one. And we want to solve for the values of x that will actually satisfy it. But before we start, pause the video, give it a try first. And if you are done, you can come back to the video. Without further ado, let's get right into it. In fact, the very first thing I want to do is that I want to keep the whole of this term. So we're going to have cube root of x plus 28, and this is equal to, already we have these two here, I'll put it there nicely, then plus everything here, which is cube root of x minus 28. And that is pretty much it. Cool. Now let's get rid of this cube root right here by raising each side of the equation to the third power. So we're going to have everything here to the third power and everything here to the third power. And clearly we see that this and this will go and we are left with x plus 28, and this is equal to, now how can we expand this? And of course, this is the part that is making the question a little bit challenging. But don't worry, with the help of Pascal's triangle, we can actually apply their coefficients to solve this. Now check this. We have a power of 3, and for Pascal's triangle principle, the coefficients are 1, 3, 3, 1. That is pretty much it, so we can actually apply them to the right-hand side of the equation. Check this. The coefficient of the first term is 1, so 1 times any number is 1, then times these two right here, raised to the third power. So to the third power, then again, plus the next coefficient is 3. I'll put it there nicely like this. Then this time, this will reduce a power by 1, so you have 2 to the second power, and this one will now have a power of 1. So everything here times cube root of x minus 28. Great, so we are done for that. Then plus the next coefficient is 3. I'll put it there, or let me use the red marker so that we can actually see it. We have 3, then times the 2 reduce a power by 1, so we have just 2, then times cube root of x minus 28, and this time the power will increase by 1 again, so we have this. And lastly, we have plus the leading coefficient is 1. 1 times any number is the number itself, and we are going to have x minus 28, and this time this one will also increase a power by 1, so you have everything to the third power. Great, and that is pretty much it. Actually, we can simplify this further. We have x plus 28 is equal to 2 to the third power is 8, then plus 2 to the second power is 4 times 3, that is giving us 12, then times cube root of x minus 28, then plus 6, because 3 times 2 is 6, and this 6 is actually multiplying cube root of x minus 28, or to the power 2. And clearly we see that this cube will cancel out this cube root, and we are left with plus x minus 28. Pretty nice, huh? Now check this. This x will cancel out this because they are the same on each side of the equation. Great. Now let's go ahead and then equate everything to 0. And with that, we will start by writing the number with the highest power. So we're going to have 6 times cube root of x minus 28 to the second power, followed by this right here, that is 12 times cube root of x minus 28. Then what is next? We have 8 minus 28, that is minus 20. We also have this 28 here. If it comes to the right, it's going to be negative 28 plus 20, that is negative 48. And this is equal to 0. Pretty nice. But it seems we have a problem here. We have this here and this here. But don't worry, let's go ahead and then let something represent that. Let's say A, we will let A be equal to the cube root of x minus 28. And that will be a little bit easier to deal with this equation, right? Wherever we see everything like this, let me Let me bring the cube. Wherever we see all these things, we are going to replace that with a. So actually, we are going to have 6a squared, then plus 12a, then we have minus 48, and this is equal to 0. And this time we have a very nice quadratic equation. But we can actually do a very nice thing to this quadratic equation because 6 can divide every term in this equation. So I would say every term here divided by 6. And we are going to have a squared, then plus 2a minus 48 divided by 6, that is 8. And this is equal to 0. And this time, this is the equation that we have. And always, we know that for a quadratic equation, we will end up getting two factors, and their product is equal to 0. The easiest way to do this is that I'll start by asking myself what times ought to give me a squared. That is obviously a times a. Then next, you find two factors that their product will give us -8, but their sum will actually give us +2. And the factors are obviously 4, -2. These are the factors. 4 times -2 is -8. 4 plus -2 is +2. So actually, I'm going to add the 4 to this side and then subtract on this side. And these are the two factors of which their product is giving us 0. Actually, we can form two equations out of this. The first equation is going to be the first factor, which is a plus 4 is equal to 0. And obviously, a is going to be -4. Or the second one is going to be a minus 2 is equal to 0 and a is equal to +2. And that is that. But remember, we are not looking for a, we are looking for x instead. But a is equal to this equation. That means wherever we see a, we are going to replace it with either this or this. So we are going to have, let me bring it right here. We are going to have cube root of x minus 28 is equal to a, where a is -4. So I'll just put -4 right here. And to get x, we have to raise each side of the equation to the third power once again. Great. So that this and this will go, and we have x minus 28 is equal to -4 to the third power. That is -64. And we have x is equal to 64 plus 28, that is -36. And this is one of the values of x. X is equal to -36. Now let's consider a case where a is equal to 2. When a is equal to 2, we are going to have cube root of x minus 28 is equal to 2. And like we did before, we have to raise each side of the equation to the third power so that we can get rid of this cube root. So that we have x minus 28 is equal to 8. Pretty interesting, huh? If we transpose -28, we have x is equal to 8 plus 28, which is 36. And this is the other solution to the problem. But when it comes to radical equations, if you find two answers, don't just go. Test and see, because sometimes one of them don't work. So let's figure out. In fact, I will just test the negative side first. And if it works, then that means that the positive one will definitely work. So let's test and see. So we say check. Now, when x is equal to -36, we're going to have cube root of -36 plus 28, then minus cube root of -36 minus 28. And this must be 2. Great. So we have cube root of this will give us -8, then minus cube root of this will be -64. And of course, this must be 2. Right. Now, we can rewrite this -8 here as -2 to the third power. Then cube root of that will be to the power 1/3. Then minus 64. -64 is the same as -4 to the third power, then cube root of that would be the whole of this to the power 1 over 3. And this must be 2. Now we see that this right here will cancel out that. Then we are left with negative 2. Then we have minus this, and this one also leave. Then we have minus 4. And of course, this is equal to 2. So we are going to have 2 is equal to 2. That means x is equal to negative 36 satisfies the equation. Therefore, the positive side will also satisfy the equation, and you can check that, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, the final answer to the problem is x is equal to plus or minus 36. And that is pretty much it. I hope you found the video useful. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more, and see you again on the next video. Have a nice day. Take care. Bye-bye.